Welcome back. I'm Tanya Smith, and this is Stream Like a Boss TV. I am really excited because I get a chance to be here with you each and every week, sharing tips and strategies on how you, as a service business, so coaches, consultants, and course creators, can actually leverage more video so that you can serve more people, sell more of your services, and stand out online. That's what we're going to talk about tonight. As a matter of fact, what I will do is I'm going to talk about the topic of if I were just starting out live streaming. And I've made a list of about 7 things, but it could run a little longer. Well, let's just talk. What I want you to do is go ahead and grab your favorite drink, whether it's a cup of water, coffee, tea, or whatever you choose. I want you to relax, get your notepad and pen out. And I want you to be prepared to ask questions. If there's anything that I can follow up on or clarify, or if there's something that's really bugging you about your live streaming strategy right now, I want you to put that in the chat. All right. Okay. I'll be right back after this short intro. And let's get into what if I were just starting out live streaming. All right. Some tips for some newbies and some folks who are a little more tenured. See you in a minute. All right, everybody, it's Tanya Smith here again with Get Noticed with Video and Stream Like a Boss TV. If you are watching for the very first time, you already know, well, you may not know. If you've been watching for a long time, you know to type in hashtag OG and just tell us where you're from in the chat. And if you're brand new, this is the first time you've ever watched one of our streams, and I know there may be some of you coming over from different guest gigs I've done over the last week or so, feel free to put in hashtag newbie. We want to welcome you and acknowledge you here. Let me know where you're from. And I think what I will do here shortly is I'm going to display a chat overlay. Now, that can get a little funky, but I'll show you what I mean in a second as we have more people come on in. So let us know where you're from and type in hashtag OG if you've been here before. So welcome, Marcia. Yes, yes, yes. And if you have not ever seen us on live and haven't interacted with us on stream before, just type in hashtag newbie. Awesome. I see those coming in. So let me show you my chat overlay. It'll start popping up as different comments pop in. Let us know where you're from. Wonderful. Now, if you're inside of the Facebook group, because I see a couple of people that are, if you're in the Facebook group, let me tell you what I'm using tonight. I'm using Restream this evening. So Restream this evening. And what I will do is direct you to chat.restream. Actually, there's a link. I'll direct you to the group. Look in the description for this video and you will see a link that you can click so that I can see your lovely face and your name. Otherwise, it's going to show up like this. OKC. Because I'm not sure which person that is. I see a couple in there that are showing South Carolina and OKC. So let me just welcome you. And also for those of you on YouTube or wherever you're watching from, feel free to go ahead and put something in the comments and let us know where you're from and say hello so that I know you're here. You don't want to be Facebook user. I know, right? That's no fun. So just click on that link. It should say something like chat.restream.io. There she is. Yes, it's my super friend, Miss J, Javaka Melvin from, tell us where you're from, Jay. Put your link, a link to your website so that we can share that for you too. Okay, I want to dive in just a second. And also, again, feel free to go ahead and type in any comments, any questions as we go, because literally tonight, I'm just going to do kind of it's going to be a little bit of a Q&A, but it's also going to be some just conversation, because usually I do more of a teaching style. And let me turn this off and blow that up a little bit. Usually I do more of a teaching style and I'll have slides and some banners and that type of thing. And I still will have a few banners, but I want to really kind of talk to you. So I'm going to dive into some content in a few minutes. But first, I need to make a couple of announcements because we have a lot of things that are taking place with Stream Like a Boss, with Stream Bosses Academy, and with Get Noticed with Video. So I need to make sure that I don't leave you out of those things. As a matter of fact, let me pull up my little handy list. I'm using Restream, so I'm getting reused to Restream. For those of you who don't know, and if you're a newbie, what you may not know is that I like to try to trial out different platforms and not even trial them out. I like to switch between different platforms so that I can make sure that I'm always up on the trends and that I know what's changed about those various platforms. This is my buddy, Carlos Tacos. Let me give him some free pub right now. Carlos Tacos in the house from YouTube. Yes, you need to check out Carlos Tacos. Always a pleasure to connect with you, sir, right here. Awesome. Okay, so I like to check out different streaming platforms and to test them out every now and then because I want to make sure that you have real answers. When you come to me in the different communities that I'm in and you say, "Hey, Tanya, which platform would be best for this?" Then I can be honest with you and tell you what I've seen, what's been changed, what's new, what's taken off. So Restream is one of the platforms that I commonly recommend. And I don't see a whole lot that's new in here other than there's one thing that they have added as a new feature. That is that you can now embed your live stream. So if you wanted to, for instance, play or display your video in your own web page or website, or maybe like another network or community space where it accepts HTML embeds, if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. Don't mess with that, right? But if you do know and you wanted to put your live stream on your own blog or something to that effect, you'd be able to do that easily with a code that they have available in here. So that's something new that I've seen inside of Restream as I've been playing with it this afternoon in preparation for tonight. So letting you know on that. Yes, it is very cool. Yes, it is. All right. What I will do next is I'm going to walk you through really quickly a couple of announcements about things that are coming up that you do not want to miss. And one thing I have to make sure I share with you because the deadline is coming up like tonight. So I don't want to forget, and I will share that as my last announcement. But I'm going to go ahead and do these announcements really quickly so we can dive into our good, juicy content. Okay? Sound good? All right. And meanwhile, what you're doing is you're getting yourself ready to ask some questions and to participate and hang out, right? So that's what we're going to do. Okay. The first thing I want to mention, tomorrow we have office hours. In order for you to get access to office hours, you must be a member of our Facebook group or our Stream Bosses Academy. In our office hours, what we do is basically talk through different Q&A. So if you got questions similar to tonight, but different because we're on a Zoom call, we get a chance to meet each other, like really meet each other. Like you get to introduce yourself and we introduce ourselves and just network like with real people. So that is a great opportunity. If you haven't attended an office hours before, again, that is open to folks who are members of our Facebook group as well as free to our Stream Bosses Academy. So be sure you join if you're not already a member so that you can get the access details. There's a link inside of the group right now where you can RSVP to participate. The second thing I want to mention to you is that we are going to have Stream Bosses Academy, y'all. I should have had my horn. I didn't have everything ready because I'm using a different platform. But this is a big deal because we're no longer keeping Stream Bosses Academy open as an evergreen option, meaning it's not open year round. It's only going to be open for certain periods of time, probably 3 times a year. That's what I'm focusing on right now. But this is the time to get in. If you're not already a Stream Boss, you want to go and read about it. So go to the link that you see here on the video, streambosses.academy. We're only going to be open for a few weeks from June 20th through July 1st. So the doors will close again July 1. We open next Monday. And speaking of next Monday, June 20th, what we're going to do to lead you into that enrollment is I'm also teaching a program. It's a webinar or master class, as a lot of people are calling those these days. talking about from live to low ticket offers. How do you promote and sell a low ticket offer that is a bridge builder for people to get to know a little bit more about you and experience you so that they're more willing and likely to purchase a more high ticket offer? And you can do this through your live streams. Yes, yay. I know, yay. Yay for stream bosses, for real. So be glad that you're already in there, ma'am. I love that you're in there and really doing big things in that space. Okay, so Monday is the webinar. Let me put that up one more time. If you want to be a part of the webinar, that is our entry into Stream Bosses Academy. So I will be talking about the Academy, but most importantly, we're doing an interactive course. Like, we're talking with you and working with you on creating a low ticket offer that you can promote and sell from your live stream. So those are the main things that I wanted to share with you, to let you know those are coming up and fast. I did not do or deliver my normal June calendar, and I apologize to those of you who are in the group. I'm sorry. I've just been running out of time. But I'm trying to keep you up to date through email and through our lives. The last thing I will mention in terms of announcements before we dive into our content is that Heartbeat, the lifetime deal, y'all, is about to go. So I want to show you what Heartbeat is really quickly so that you really get a feel for what this is. This is what we're building our community inside. We're using Heartbeat as a space for networking and for community building and for all kinds of things. I am loving it right now. What you will want to definitely do is think about what they call use cases or reasons why you would be creating a network for your community of people who may be watching your live streams, right? Or participating in your different videos. The reason why I love this so much is because there are opportunities for you to create a networking space so that people can support each other and encourage each other in whatever niche they're in. So maybe it has nothing to do with video, maybe it's something else. But I have been able to create courses in here. And so right now I've got my success map that we've started to launch and to release to the group. We also recently added Launch Your Live Stream Show, the success map, Launch Your Live Stream Show. And then there's also bonus training and replays from all of our different calls. I'm teaching in these different tutorials every single platform that I recommend. I'm sharing a video training and tutorial that teaches you how to use it from start to finish. So there's a lot that I'm going to be able to do inside of Heartbeat. But the reason why I'm pointing out that this is going to end is because what I love is that it's a lifetime deal, right? It's a lifetime deal, y'all. and the lifetime deal is going to be over in less than 13 hours, I think is what I saw on the countdown. So you definitely want to make sure you go and check that out. Okay. I just wanted to make sure that I did not forget to remind you about that, because I'm loving it. And a lot of other people that are participating and that have grabbed that deal are just over the moon, right? Versus paying these really expensive subscriptions and getting less features. We're getting all the features, including even courses. That's enough about Heartbeat. Let's dive into the content that you're here for, because I wanted to talk about, what if I were to just start out live streaming? Now, I told you I was going to make this conversational, and so I am going to give you from the heart exactly some of the things that I think would be really, really important for you to know. I made a lot of mistakes, as many of us do, whenever we're starting something new or trying a new platform, trying new types of content, venturing into a new business, any of those things, we're going to make mistakes. My job, my role, and how I see myself is someone who can help you to have shortcuts. I'll never forget that one of my kids, I won't share which one, in case she's watching, but she used to say, well, let me make my own mistakes, right? Like, don't tell me, I just want to go through it, which I always thought was the dumbest thing. But I'm sure as a teenage girl, I probably said or thought that myself, right? So what we want to do as adults And as people who are entrepreneurs, is we want to take the shorter path if we can to get to the results that we want, right? That's what we want. So I'm going to walk you through 7 things. I've written down a list of 7. There probably will be more that come up, but I want to try to make sure that I leave room and time for you to ask any questions you may have. Miss Jeanette in the house, it's good to see you, lady. All right. So I'm going to walk you through these 7 things that I would have changed. Now, why is this relevant? Because I like to explain the context behind why this topic. It's actually because somebody asked me the question. They asked, what would you do differently? And you know what? It's good to reflect on that whenever you have a business or you're doing anything. It's good to reflect a few years down the road, a few months down the road, right? Even a few weeks down the road, and ask yourself, what are the lessons that I've learned? What's the experience that I can take away from what I've done so far? Because when you reflect and you see and you answer those questions to yourself, right? Or to someone else, if you're working with a partner or you're working with an assistant or a team, you're better able to really continue to learn from those lessons and not make the same mistakes over and over again. So the first thing I would do, I'm going to kind of go backwards a little bit. I'm going to pick and choose in these 7 because I want to give you some that I think are super relevant. The very first thing I would tell you, if I were just starting out live streaming in this moment, 2022, I would give myself grace. What do I mean by that? I think that sometimes, and I want you to answer this for yourself. Have you ever been in a situation where you just constantly beat your head against a wall and you kept saying to yourself, I don't know why I keep doing that, or I don't know why I made that mistake. And maybe even you say something like, I'm so stupid. Now, I don't say that because I'm very particular about making sure my kids don't say words like that and use phrases like that. And I definitely wouldn't encourage you to say that. But I know that some of you have. Oh my God, I couldn't get this right. I guess I'm just not cut out for this. Maybe you say something like that. What I want to encourage you to do is to give yourself grace, because everybody starts off making mistakes. Nobody has a wonderful, beautiful, professional looking, airtight video when they first start off. It's going to be ugly. I got some real ugly videos on YouTube. I really do. I have some ugly videos. I have some videos that don't have sound. I have videos where my background was really kind of crappy, to be honest. There are videos when I first started doing any type of video where I was like, I'm not putting my face on camera, but I'll put up a slide, right? So if I were to start today doing streaming, which is something that you must be considering or else you wouldn't be here, what I want to encourage you to do is to think about, how can I forgive myself and be okay with the fact that I'm not going to be perfect? Because you just won't, and it's okay. But how can I give myself enough grace and then take notes on the things that I see that I'm learning from as I go? That's number 1. That's the first, and that's probably the most important thing. Let's see. I'm going to cross that one off. Let's see. Number 2, I would probably partner up with other people for either one show a week, a month, or a quarter. Now, why am I saying that? Because when you're live streaming and you're doing everything yourself, if you're doing a live stream every week, yes, you are absolutely boosting your own brand. You're going to be seen as the expert in your field. You have a lot of opportunities to really promote yourself. And frankly, if you don't play well with others, or if you've found in the past that you've had some stinging moments where you were working with somebody and it didn't quite work out, if you've had those situations, you might be a little fearful. And honestly, I was a little fearful because initially I was doing a podcast and I wanted to interview people, and I would have all the things happen. I would have people that didn't show up because they just didn't care. I would have people that would back out at the last minute. I would have people that would show up but they weren't showing up at their best. There were just all these little things, right, that bothered me about the partnering up. But here's where I've grown and where I've matured a bit more is there is the possibility, there's an opportunity for you not only to boost your own brand through live streaming, but if you can mix in every now and then some guests, some interviews with other people, or even partner conversations and panels, it's going to give variety to your show. It's going to put a little bit more variety into your video presence. And it also is going to help to continue to boost your credibility while you're lifting someone else up, right? So I like the idea of the partnering, but there are lots and lots of ways you can do that. And that would be one thing I would definitely consider sooner rather than later. In this moment, what we're doing is I am reaching out and documenting different persons that I want to partner with. But the way in which I want to do this, and which I'm going about doing this right now, is vetting to make sure that that is someone whose reputation I want to be aligned with. That is someone who is their message and their products, programs, and services can complement my own. Okay. So being very intentional about that, I think, can work out very well. All of the guest interviews that I've done, I've had an amazing time, and you and the audience have had fun too. So that is number 2, is I would partner up with more people, even if it wasn't for every stream or every show. I would do that at least once a week, once a month, or once a quarter. And that is in our plans for the near future. So that's number 2. Now, let me ask you this. Right now, in your own live stream, and you can put this in the chat because I want to see your answers. In your own live stream, are you thinking about just you being on camera? So are you going to do a solo? Or are you doing interview style or panel? So you can pop that in the chat. Are you doing solo, interview style, or panel for your live stream? What's your idea? And if you have got any questions about that, put those in the comments too, because I'm watching for you. Okay. So while I'm watching for those answers, here's number 3. I would recognize and really embrace the idea of mapping out topics ahead of time. There is nothing that slows you down more than not knowing what the heck you're going to say. It is just such a brain stump that when you're going to get on live, you don't even know what you're going to talk about. You just press go, right? I love it, Christopher. That's awesome. That is beautiful. So Christopher says, my wife and I are on together and we interact as a duo. Look, the thing about partnering is that you have this energy that gets to transfer between the two people that are talking, and it goes out into the community and it comes back, and it's a boost, and it's nice to have that variety. So I highly encourage every one of you, because I know many of you looking at the names here, I would absolutely encourage you to think about ways to integrate some type of other than solo versions of your live stream. Yes. Okay. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so I'm seeing some ideas. And there's David Kennedy in the house. Wonderful to see you as always, sir. Yes. So I think that, and if I can't tell your name, if you're looking like Facebook user, then remember to go into the link in the description. If you're inside the Facebook group, you got to give permission so that I can see you in Restream. Here's the thing that I also like about, what was our number 3? And let me go back and find my list because it just popped off for some reason. There we go. Recognizing the benefits of mapping out topics ahead of time. So let me speak to that a little bit. And not only this, because look, this afternoon, let me tell y'all, I got a chance to speak with Liz Wilcox and her amazing, incredible email sound booth group. It was so much fun. I love talking about video, period, right? But I love talking about it when people really have good questions and want to know more about it. Love that. All right. Oh, Dee Dee, I couldn't tell that was you, lady. Okay. So they had a lot of questions, and one of the questions that came up was around the idea of content and how to find ideas. So I would definitely, if I were just starting out live streaming now, instead of just working off the cuff all the time, all the time, all the time. Yes, you were, Christopher. You were awesome asking me those great questions. Thank you. Um, if you want to really do well, you need to make sure that you're thoughtful and you're strategic about what you're talking about. Anybody can get on live, I know, and just start talking. But when you really consider what that's doing for your audience, are you serving people in the best way? That's the question you have to ask yourself. I can't answer that for you. But I started realizing over time when I kept doing these random ones, I was like, I'm not serving people. I'm serving myself because I just want to talk about this topic. But how do I serve in a way that this audience is really going to get something from the content I'm talking about? And how does this relate back to, hey, when I get these type of topics and I get this content, it's so useful and relevant that I want more? That's what we want our audience members and our viewers to feel, right? We want them to feel like I want more of that person that's talking to me on video. So in order for you to do that, you need to be intentional about creating topics and content that is relevant to the people that you want to serve. And if I were starting out right now, that would be a focus for me. I would be looking for ways, and I've done a ton of different videos, y'all, on how to come up with topics. So you can probably find some here inside of the Facebook page or YouTube or anywhere where you're watching from now, or send me a DM, send me a note and say, hey, send me one of these video links, and I'll do that. But there are tons of different ways that you can find topics. It's just that you have to do it in a way that requires you to put attention to it, just like any other content. So I love the off the cuff moments, and I do still have some off the cuff conversations, but I also see the benefit and the value in serving my audience in a better way by making sure that I've thought through the benefits and how what I'm talking about is going to address things that matter to people watching. You got to do that. And if you don't know, you can ask. You can ask people who have been in your lives before, people who are in your community or group, people who are prior customers or current customers. Ask them, what would you really find beneficial for me to talk about in a live stream? Because people have opinions and they will tell you. And sometimes they don't know what they don't know. So you'll have to do a little bit more research, but there are ways to do that too. Okay, so that's my number 3, I believe. My number 4 would be, I would bring on an assistant or a support member much sooner. I would. I have taken a long time to really recognize the benefit of having someone on your team that can help you, especially as it relates to videos. I have taken so much time, and I cannot tell you, it's like beating your head against a brick wall. I know you're supposed to do it, but I promise you, it has been a challenge for me. It's just one of my quirks. And some of you know what I'm talking about. I see that laugh in there. Some of you know what I'm talking about because you're in the same boat. And we feel like we need to do everything. And I'm not telling you that it's not done well, but you can run yourself into the ground. And literally, if you are not filled up, you can't operate on an empty cup. So I think that would be one thing I would absolutely say is bringing on an assistant. Now, where could an assistant help you as it relates to your video? And this is a great question that Christopher just asked. So I'm going to pop it up because I want you to see this. Do you find someone locally for that, or can you hire a VA, for instance? Good question. So let me share a little bit about, first of all, what I think this person would do in the space of live stream or video. I think that there are, and I know that there are workflows and there are things that are required from an administrative standpoint that I often do. And I've automated much of that, but there's still some manual work, such as when you get prepared to promote and to share your video right ahead of the date and time. I would love to be able to hand that off and to outsource that to someone to help me do that, to create the Canva image, the thumbnail, to put the wording together. All I got to do is tell them this is going to be my topic, and they create the blurb and get it posted so that people know about it. That's great for an assistant or someone in a support capacity. I think that it would also be fabulous for that same person to also create some different types of commercial advertising or even gain and contact sponsors. So you all have seen with podcasting, there are sponsorships, right? You can do the same thing with live streaming. You can actually secure sponsors that you promote and share and talk about during your video. And then they are in exchange, there's some type of mutual exchange that's taking place there. But I would absolutely love to have someone that could go hunt that down for me because I don't have the time. So having someone in a support capacity that could do that would be amazing. The other thing I see from a streaming standpoint is because, and I'm going to mention this as another thing I would do if I were starting today. In fact, I'll mention it now. One thing, and before I mention it, let me answer your question, Christopher. You said, well, where do you find this person? Look, there is such a thing as a remote live producer. There are lots of virtual assistants. You don't have to have someone local, but I would say if you are that person who needs that person to be near you in your space, in your physical space, so that you can have those conversations and you feel like that's just better for you to communicate, then absolutely, by all means, try to find someone locally that can get to you, that can help you with the camera setup, that can help you by joining you when you go and you do networking gigs or speaking events, and they can do the video for you. And they can create the reels and they can create stories. Heck yeah, locally would make sense for that. For me, some of the things that I would have that person do, I can really do a virtual assistant. And I agree, the reliable thing is really important. Hey, Miss iRock TV in the house. Nicolette, wonderful to see you, ma'am. Yeah, I want someone reliable too, Christopher. So that's the thing. We need to find someone that's going to meet our specific needs. So the thing to encourage you to do, and Nicolette can probably speak to this too in the chat, but the thing that you really need to do is to map out what are those tasks that I know I got to do on a repeat basis related to my stream, and how can I outsource this? Like, would this be something I would give away for somebody else to do from an administrative standpoint while I focus on the other things? Because I want to focus on writing great content, but I can give hand off to that person, that team member, to do some of the other stuff, even editing of videos, which I have found a video editor that I'm going to be working with more frequently. But you still need to wrap your head around what's the plan, like what do I want them to do? So that would be something else. If I were just starting out, I would highly recommend outsourcing. Bringing on an assistant. Okay, let's see. We have 3 more to go. So here's one more. I would make the upgrades sooner than later. What do I mean? I mean, and let me ask you this. Yes, Juan. Yes. Okay. He's agreeing with me, I think, on the outsourcing. What would I do right now if I were just coming into live streaming and I knew I crossed that barrier of, I'm thinking about it, to, oh yeah, I'm all in on this. If I was that person just starting out, instead of me starting out with the webcam that's built into my laptop that looks up my nose and has a horrible angle and is blurry, not crispy at all, I would upgrade my gear. And maybe I wouldn't go straight to the Sony a6400 that I'm using now. Maybe I wouldn't do that because that's pricey, right? But I would probably go into like either the C922 Pro, so a Logitech webcam, the Logitech Brio, the face cam by Elgato, that's fairly reasonable. All of these are more affordable level cameras. I would upgrade pretty soon after I started if I knew I was committed to being on stream regularly. I would also upgrade my sound because the better your sound quality, the better your video. It's just a fact. So I would probably do at least those two things, and I would gradually do these things. So one of the things that I'm talking to the stream bosses about that will be in our success map is how it's the art of budgeting for video. So I have a member right now, and you know who you are. I have a member who asked, she said, I really want to upgrade, but it seems to be too expensive to me. So I'm going to throw this out, and I want you to think about this too. If you think that it's too expensive, then what you do is you sit down and you think through, okay, how many clients do I need to sign in order to pay for this gear? Because if you're doing streaming regularly, the more professional and high quality your videos look, the more likely you're going to build that credibility and trust, and the more clients you attract. It just works that way. Yes, writing momentum. Let me see what you got. That's what we're using, a Logitech. Yeah, C922. I still have my C922 up right now. Like, it's connected in this moment. I'm just using the Sony right now because I'm not doing different angles. But I love my C922, and it lasted me for years, not years, but for a long time before I decided to go to a Canon and then move to the Sony. I love it. And the budgeting thing is something for you to think about. We won't get into too much detail here, but I just want to say this because these are things nobody told me this, and this is why I'm sharing it with you in this what I would do if I just started, because there are things I know now that I had no clue about, and nobody gave me the ins and outs. Even the people that were in the double digit tens of thousands that were charging for the coaching, and y'all know who you are too, consulting people. Yeah. So I want to share this with you because I don't want you making the same mistakes. You got to sit down and think about what is my realistic budget for what I want to do, and then you build your way to that. But I definitely would upgrade. I would do it and make sure that I was following a budget. I would sit down and I would map out, I need this number of clients to sign first in order for me to reward myself by upgrading to this gear. That's how I would do it. I'm just being honest. Okay. So the next thing, and I want you to think about that for you. How many clients, in fact, you can put this in the chat. How many clients would you need to sign on in the next month in order to upgrade to your perfect dream piece of gear? If there's a video device or a piece of equipment that you want to upgrade to now, I want you to sit down and I want you to do the math. And you can like just put it out loud on the chat. How many clients would you need to sign? You don't even have to say what the gear is. Matthew in the house. Matthew, look, Matt is awesome. Awesome. And he has put his foot into the virtual world. He has been using Zoom to reach major audiences. He works with children and he does children's shows. And I just got to brag on you a little bit, Matthew. I hope you're okay with that. But he also gave me the number that I asked for and said he needs to sign on 500. Okay, so you need to sign on 500 clients in order to get your dream setup. Okay. So you got to be thinking like that. Like, what do I realistically need to do? And then the other question you need to be asking yourself is, do I need to upgrade my pricing? And that's what I was wondering, Matthew. You just told me the answer. I'm charging $10 to $20 a membership a month. Yes. So it may be an opportunity for you to think through, not only do I upgrade my pricing for this membership, but maybe also are there other services that I could offer within my wheelhouse and what I'm passionate about that I can charge more for, so that I can kind of combine those with that membership that I love to offer, right? So all of those things, you got to think through strategically. And that's my goal, is to help you think strategically about how you're going to do this video marketing thing. Okay. So not going to spend too much time on it, because literally this could be a whole class. And we are creating a portion of the Stream Bosses Success Map, which you get access to when you become a Stream Boss. Look, let me put that, because I forgot to put it back up, but I got to put it up. Stream Bosses Academy, Monday we open. So get on in there Monday morning and get signed up if you want to be in the academy, so you can have access to all the things. Okay. So yeah, I love, love, love. Yes, Yvette. My services are a little different. That's what I'm trying to get going. Yes, and you can explain a little bit more and tell me more about how different they are, Yvette, and I will see if I can help there too. Help you think through some things. And yes, other tools as well. Besides the video gear, what are other things that you might need to invest in? Are there different apps and software and platforms that you need to invest in? If you're going to be paying a subscription fee for the platform that you're going to do lives with, you need to think about how you're going to pay for that. So these are all things that are definitely key and critical as you're kind of mapping out your strategy. This is not to keep you from getting on and doing video. It's all about, okay, I'm going to get started, and now here's how I'm going to grow my presence and how I'm going to grow my business. It's about being business savvy and not just marketing, but actually having a sustainable income through your business. Okay. And playing your music and singing, etc. Yes, look, even with those things, okay. And when you think about that, if you're doing that on video, Yvette, and it's either Yvette or Yvette. So I apologize if I'm pronouncing incorrectly. But you still need to be thinking through as well, is there a way for you to up level your game on video and actually pay for that through the services that you offer? That's the big question, right? That's the big question. Yvette, got it. Thank you. I'll get it right from now on. Okay, so I would do all the things that I mentioned to you. I think I have two more. And I hope this is helpful. I'm literally pulling from the list that I brainstormed, because I thought when that person asked me that question, I was like, you know what, this would make a good live stream, because I'm being totally transparent with you about the things that I've learned so far. And I haven't been in the game as long as some people have, but I'm very good about thinking back and reflecting on the things that I know could make improvements for someone else. That is my spiritual gift, is exhortation and encouragement. So I want to encourage you by sharing what I can. Thank you, Matthew. I'm so glad that it is. That's important to me. Okay, so two more things. I would find a me to help B move faster. What do I mean by that? It sounds like I'm joking, but I'm really not. When I say that, I don't expect you to go out and just find a coach, any coach, to help you to create your streaming strategy. What I would encourage you to do, even if it's not me, what I would encourage you to do so that you can move more quickly and not have to take all the time that it took for me to go and watch a billion videos and sign up for a jillion workshops and get into there's just so many different programs and products and videos and all of those things. I'm trying to tell y'all, there's a lot to this if you really want to do it right. And people don't tell you that. And really, it's like that with any type of content marketing strategy. Thank you, Nicolette. I want to encourage you to find that person. I'm not for everyone. So let me be honest about that. I know a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I get excited about Stream Bosses Academy, but then they go to the page and they're like, it may not be for me, which is okay. I want you to self-qualify and self-disqualify, because there is someone for everyone. There is a coach for each one of you. I may not be the right one for you, but the one you do need to find is the one who truly understands your business, what you're trying to accomplish with your business. They don't just know this little piece and that's all they're going to focus on, and you have to go everywhere else to get the rest of it. You want them to have a strategic mindset where they're thinking through with you and they're helping you to think about, okay, if I take these steps, if I take step A and B, does that lead me to E? Or does that lead me to a letter later on down in the alphabet, and I skipped all these and now I got to go to 500 other people to figure that out? You need to be talking to someone that's going to really understand business in general, and understand how your videos are going to play a role in making sure your business goals are met. So if it were me, I would have found a me a long time ago. I have several mentors now that I wish I had signed on with way earlier. So think about that if you're thinking about doing streaming, and if you're thinking about doing any type of video marketing, and that strategy is going to be a core of your business. I want you to go and do your research and find someone that can help you, someone whose program resonates with you. The last and final thing I will say, and no, that was not just a pure sales pitch, although I think I'm pretty good at what I do. And I would love to work with you if you and I are a fit. I don't accept everyone into my programs either. So I'm going to say that I've learned as a business owner that sometimes people don't recognize when they're not right for me, just like I'm not right for them. And so it's my duty to be compassionate and to say, I don't think this is the right program for you at this time, given the goals that you have. That's something else. Think about that in your own business and how that might apply. Final thing, final point, and then I'm going to wrap it so I can go get my child soon. I would get crystal clear on something. If I were just starting out video right now, I were just starting out to stream, Lord, I would not only see video, thank you, iRock TV, you and these compliments, you just making my heart filled up. And we worked together for some time. So I am blessed to have you as well in my audience and as part of my Stream Bosses Academy. Just know that, Nicolette. One of the things that I think that I would do, this is the last thing. This is so, so critical. Don't see live streaming as, hey, I got to go on and give away all my stuff for free, because maybe at some point that was the thing. That was like the drill. Like you had to just give away. It was like a lead magnet, which it still is on some level. Okay. It is. It's a great way to lead people down a path. But I also want to encourage you that there are opportunities to use live streaming, the more you build and improve on your skills, as a selling space. Now, you got to find the right platforms and the right spaces, such as Amazon Live. If you haven't noticed, I have, because it's my duty to notice, but I have noticed that there is so much opportunity right now for live selling. It's crazy. And not a lot of people are learning how to do that. I haven't learned officially yet how to do it. I'm learning and I'm researching and I'm studying because I want to map out a master plan that fits into my business goals. But live stream selling is a thing. And I don't think it's going away anytime soon. And it's not like your mama's QVC. Y'all remember QVC and HSN, Home Shopping Network? Remember that? Remember 2:00 in the morning, you get on TV, you watch TV and you see all these sales shows, right? It's not like that. But it is an opportunity that is, I'd say in some ways is similar to that. Think about it. People are already going to Amazon now anyway and buying stuff. I am on Amazon weekly, if not every other day. Trust. So if they're already going, why the heck would you not be out there helping people to find the thing, something that is within your wheelhouse, something that you're purchasing and you love, something that somehow connects back to your business, right? Why are you not using that? So that's just one space. There are other spaces as well, some that have not been as successful recently, I've seen. But if you watch and you study and you look for ways to look at live streaming as more than just a video marketing space where you go to give away free stuff, if you look at it with a broader sense and with eyes that are big and wide, and you take the time to research, there are so many possibilities. So that's what I want to encourage you. And I hope that the 7 things I've shared with you have opened your mind and broadened your thinking about streaming. It's not just about getting on camera and saying, oh, hey, everybody, my cat just jumped out of. No, it's about how can I share? And if your cat is part of your niche, nothing against cats, I'm a dog lover, but whatever is a part of your niche and whatever is going to be relevant to you from a passion standpoint and to them as an audience, that's where you find the happy place with streaming. And I hope that you see those possibilities. And yes, Juan, you're right. Those shows are still coming on and they're still selling, right? They still are selling. But guess what? The world of live stream video is going to be huge with selling. Let's see, Jeanette. Okay, so Jeanette has a question I need to go to in regards to Heartbeat before we wrap. You're using video for webinars and writing tips or theater, or maybe you're asking, can you use video for webinar and writing tips? Okay, I'm thinking back to your original question that you asked inside of our community, Jeanette, but you can definitely clarify if there's anything you need to clarify in here. If the question is, can you use streaming or can you use these type of platforms for doing webinars and sharing writing tips and theater? Absolutely, you can. You could use your StreamYard or your Restream or your Melon or whatever you're using, Ecamm. You can use those to do a whole entire webinar. And what you're going to do is you will leverage landing pages just like you do with a webinar, right? You're going to leverage that to give people an opportunity to sign up. You're going to leverage email sequences, meaning you're going to write out kind of a sequence of here's what they get. This is the email they get when they confirm. Here's the email that they get as a reminder. Here's the email that they get about the offer that you made during the webinar. You can do all of that using any of these tools. Now, specific to the Heartbeat product, which I think you had asked about earlier, Heartbeat, I don't think it's really, the intent is not for it to be a webinar specific type of platform, but there are events available inside. So for those of you who are wondering about Heartbeat before the live or the lifetime deal ends, here, I'll pop it up for you, Jeanette, since you're asking about it. Let me just find it. Before that ends, you can definitely go check it out. It's really intended more for a community space. So if you have a group of people, if there's a network of folks that have a common thing that they're talking about, a common conversation and discussion that you're creating this space for, if that's happening, then yes, you can create an event, right, that would lead them into your Zoom, because you can connect your events with Zoom inside of Heartbeat. And that would give you, let me try to share my screen real quick. I'll try to do that so you can see what my office hours look like. Okay, so check that out. So here, people can see a calendar with the monthly events, right? So what you would do, Jeanette, in your case, is you would maybe create the date for that webinar, and then you would link your event to a Zoom call, and then your Zoom call would be a part of the link right here. Like it would be linked up here, and they could RSVP through the event inside of your Heartbeat community. And when they RSVP, they could receive emails and all the things I just mentioned. So you could do that. You can have a limited version of a landing page here, or you can create a separate, like well thought out landing page that then leads people to the link where they're going to RSVP to this page. Because right here, I can share this page, right? And the thing about the events, by the way, that you want to know is when you're using Heartbeat, you can have events that are only closed to members. Or you can have events that you can share to people who are not even members at all. They're external, which is how we are doing our office hours. We're sharing the link to our open Q&A and office hours event tomorrow through by using the Heartbeat shareable link. So you can do it in that regards. But I will say, to be honest with you, Jeanette, it is not a webinar platform. So don't see it in that way. See it as what it is, which is a community platform where you can use different features such as events and courses and threads and all of that, right? Yes, I am working it. I don't know who put that there, but I am working it because it just answered some prayers that I had when I was looking to rebuild and revise what my community was doing. It seemed to meet the needs. And so that's the reason why I'm promoting it and why I think it's an option that will be great for some people. Great for a few, not great for all. Because again, if you're looking specifically for a webinar platform, you want to look at Webinar Jam, Easy Webinar, Jet Webinar. I use Big Marker for my webinars, another lifetime deal. But there are webinar specific platforms that really are awesome. You're so welcome. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I must wrap because I need to not have my child sitting in the chair waiting for me to get there. Webinar Ninja is another one. Thank you for bringing that one up too. Yes. There are so many different versions of webinar platforms. So if your focus is going to be on marketing strategy centered around webinars, you may want to look for a webinar platform. If you're trying to build community and you want to create events connected to that specific community, and you want other features that are, generating engaging conversations, I think Heartbeat could be an answer. But you want to go ahead and grab it before the lifetime is over and trial it. And if it's not for you, then turn it back in. That's what I do. All right. I know I am not a mean mama. I'm going to take care of my baby. So thank you so much, everybody, for hanging out with me this evening. I hope that the 7 things that I would do if I were just to start out right now live streaming, I hope that those tips and that transparency will help you to have a few shortcuts so that you can do things a little bit differently and move quicker and get results faster. If you are interested in joining us inside of the Stream Bosses Academy, once again, on Monday the 20th through July 1st is the only time we will open. The next time we will open will be sometime late fall. So I just wanted to let you know that. And when you do go to the page, you'll see more information, but you'll also see a countdown timer that will share with you the Monday open date and time. And we are doing so many things in there, courses, tutorials. We have 2 calls each month that are amazing, incredible calls. One of them is a co-working call that we do. It's a date that we all have. It's one of my most fun days. I look forward to it. There's just a lot that we're doing in the space. We're getting ready to create mentors and partnerships, accountability partner opportunities in there. There's a lot. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you there if that's for you. But you read through the landing page and you send me any questions if you have any, and we will see how things go. Thank you, Christopher, for watching. I know you're a newbie and I appreciate you being here. Thank you, Michelle, for the kudos because I love you being in the space and the community. And y'all have a beautiful evening. Stay safe. I will see you next week. And probably at our correct time. But again, I needed to adjust a little bit tonight for the baby, who's not a baby anymore. All right, y'all. Have a good night, and I will see you next time.